Now, religious leaders from Church of Uganda have raised concerns over certain provisions in the marriage bill, a piece of legislation introduced by Honorable Opendi, woman MP for Tororo District. This was revealed during an engagement meeting between the Church of Uganda and the Parliamentary Legal Committee held at the Provincial Secretariat. Honorable Opendi, who is the mover of the bill, emphasized the need for its retabling to address the growing challenges faced by the families in Uganda, including rising numbers of street children linked to broken marriages.
During Church of Uganda engagement with the Parliament of Uganda Legal Committee on the marriage bill, Honorable Opendi, mover of the marriage bill and woman member of Parliament for Tororo District, raised concern for the tabling of the bill to address all the challenges arising in the families.
Thank you as the Church of Uganda for commemorating this day and inviting us to actually share with you a very important piece of legislation which will go a long way in actually stabilizing or supporting the families. And of course, you cannot talk about a family without talking about marriage. And in my wisdom,
Honorable Opendi says that there is no law that protects family in the country, yet there is a provision in the 1995 Constitution of Uganda that directs Parliament to come up with a law that protects the family.
You are aware that under that very article, it states that Parliament shall make appropriate laws for protection of the family. We don't have any law currently that is protecting the family.
Honorable Opendi attributed to the number of street children increasing in Kampala and other major cities due to increased problem of broken marriages.
We still see challenges in families. When you look at what is happening, especially for those seeking going to court, in cases of separation, in cases of divorce, the courts are making rulings. This judge today says this, another judge tomorrow offers the other.
Assistant Bishop of the Diocese of Kampala, Right Reverend Jackson Frederick Barwa, representing the Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, the Most Reverend Dr. Stephen Kazimba Mugaru, during the engagement meeting, was concerned about the clause section 5D of the bill categorically declares that a Christian marriage shall be celebrated with the consent of parents to the parties which he opposed.
Because there are circumstances where parents have been unrealistic. And if we tie ourselves that it must always be by their consent, even when they have the age of consent, that may run us into trouble. But also, there is another bit. If you have a convert, the daughter of a sheikh who became a Christian, and now she wants to get married, and you insist you have to get a letter of consent from that parent, you will be tied up.
Other religious leaders and the Church of Uganda that were part of the engagement reacted to some of the provisions in the bill.
Marriage was monogamous, and now here it has been translated as potentially polygamous. Yes. And yet, as Christians, as she said, we really, a church marriage or Christian marriage was adding to a civil marriage, just the Christian aspect. So when you do make civil marriages potentially polygamous, in a way you are opening it to what is the justification?
I felt at a loss to sit here and we say we should deliberate and legislate for counts. No, Honorable Opendi, the Parliament of this country should have seen that there is a problem with that provision in the Constitution, that the provision in the Constitution for freedom of worship.
I strongly propose that we have a clause that stipulates according to the biblical teaching, so that every Christian marriage, they will not have a scenario of anyone coming up with what they think or what they perceive, but will be aligned to the teaching of the Word of God. Because marriage No one is authoring this thing that we are talking about even right now. I actually feel that even this marriage bill, we should begin from the author of marriage, who is none other than the Creator God himself.
The Marriage Bill 2024 is a proposed bill in Uganda that aims at reforming the country's marriage laws. The bill was presented in Parliament on October 3, 2024 by Honorable Dorcas Achen at Tororo District Woman Member of Parliament on behalf of Honorable Sarah Opendi, Tororo District Woman Representative. The bill's main objectives are to consolidate, repeal and reform the legal framework for marriage in Uganda, provide for recognized marriages, marriage registration and marital rights and obligations, allow for the conversion of one type of marriage to another, address property rights, regulate marital arrangements and protecting minors. Some key proposals in the bill include equal property rights, where both spouses have equal rights to matrimonial property, regardless of whether their contributions were financial or non-financial. Other proposal is child protection, with anyone who participates in or witnesses the marriage of a minor under 18 years old faces a 10-year imprisonment term, and many other provisions. JULIUS MUHUMUZA, Church of Uganda Family TV, News at 8.
Now, the Church of Uganda, under the leadership of Archbishop Dr. Stephen Kazimba Mugalu, has called for a collective effort with the government of Uganda, human rights organizations, and other stakeholders to address and end gender-based violence. In the context of the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, Dr. Kazimba emphasized the Church's commitment to empowering women, promoting human rights, and collaborating with various sectors to combat violence against women and girls. This initiative comes alongside the reintroduction of the Sexual Offences Bill 2024, which aims to strengthen protections for victims and punishments for offenders.
Every year from November 25th, Church of Uganda joins the global community in the 16 days of activism campaign against violence towards women and girls. This year's theme is Unite to End Violence Against Women and Girls. Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, the Most Reverend Dr. Stephen Kazimba Mugalu, in his statement today that was read by Right Reverend Jackson Frederick Kibarwa, Assistant Bishop of the Diocese of Kampala, said that in commemorating 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, Church of Uganda is committed to consolidate efforts with the government of Uganda to empower women, promote human rights, and renew commitment to end violence against women and girls in all settings.
As we commemorate the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, Church of Uganda commits itself to 1. Unite and empower. We will consolidate efforts with the government of Uganda to empower women, promote human rights, and renew our commitment to end violence against women and girls in all settings. Secondly, faith space for change. We will use our faith spaces to respond to and prevent gender injustices by encouraging survivors to report gender-based violence.
Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, the Most Reverend Dr. Stephen Kazimba Mugalu, has urged the government of Uganda, Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, national human rights institutions, human rights defenders, media, statistical bodies and academia to collaborate with the Church of Uganda in averting gender-based violence and supporting empowerment programs to end violence against women and girls.
As we unite to end violence against women and girls, I call upon you, the government of Uganda, the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, national human rights institutions, human rights defenders, media, statistical bodies, and academia to collaborate with the Church of Uganda in averting the gender-based violence and supporting empowerment programs.
Church of Uganda commends the Parliament and Government of Uganda for reviewing and reintroducing the Sexual Offences Bill 2024, which seeks to enhance the punishment of sex offenders and protect victims during trials.
Church of Uganda commends the Parliament and the Government of Uganda for reviewing and reintroducing the Sexual Offence Bill 2024, which seeks to enhance the punishment of sex offenders and protect victims during trials.
Woman Member of Parliament, Tororo District, Honorable Opendi, said that there is a need for support of victims of gender-based violence in Uganda.
As Parliament, ours is to make laws. We have the Domestic Violence Act in place.